Hello everyone, good day. My name is Asaya Stephanie from Medical University. I'm in the Department of Medicine and Surgery. I want to talk about the novel The Leader Who Had No Title by Sharma. So I'd like to talk about the first chapter of the book, which is Leadership and Success Are Your Birthright. The main point I'll talk about in this chapter is introduction to the main character, which was Blake Davis. Blake meets Tommy, who offered mentor and teach him about leadership. Then the third one, Tommy told him that leadership is not limited to those in high positions. Rather, everyone has the power to lead. So, firstly, I'll talk about the introduction to Blake Davis. This chapter talks about Blake Davis' life so far. After Blake's parents died, life was so hard for Blake. He went from one job to another and didn't even put much on the jobs. He was just going around sitting and eating too much food. He spent too much and then he was watching too much movies. He was a soldier before he finally got a job, a bookstore, but he was always feeling lost and uninspired and disconnected from his potentials. Nextly, I'll talk about when Blake meets Tommy, who offered to mentor and teach him about leadership. So, Blake met Tommy at the bookshop one day. Tommy introduced himself as a kind mentor and he shared with him that he can teach him all he needs to know about leadership. Lastly, Tommy told him that leadership is not limited to those in high positions. Rather, everyone has the power to lead, which means that which means that you don't have to be in a high position to be able to lead people. Like you don't have to be maybe the manager of a workplace in order to be a leader. You can just be an ordinary worker and still be a leader. You can even be a cleaner and still be a leader. And he said that everyone has the power to lead and create change, no matter their jobs. Moving to the second chapter of this book, Blake's meeting with a leadership mentor. The 3 points I'll talk about here is firstly, he met with Tommy Flink or Flanagan, his leadership mentor. Secondly, Tommy introduced LWT to him. And thirdly, he further explains that we just need to be a living human being to be able to lead. So, firstly, he met Tommy Flink at the bookshop. He just saw him to be a very weird man because of the way he dressed with the yellow Mickey Mouse handkerchief. Everything about him looked so weird. It was only his shoes that even looked good on him. But to Blake's greatest surprise, Tommy was a friend to his late father, and he knew that when Tommy mentioned his father's name and revealed to him that he was his late father's friend, and explained to him that he only came to the bookshop to fulfill his father's wish, which was that he helped his son. Moving to the second point, which was that Tommy introduced LWT to him. Tommy introduced the leadership without a title, which was the FWT, to him, explaining that a true leader is not just about their authority, which means true leadership is about influence and not just authority. Tommy insists and argued that no matter what you face in this life, that the LWT is going to always help you. But because of he saw the way Blake was discouraged, he kept on going further, explaining to him that he shouldn't regard his role. He shouldn't think of higher roles to be a leader. He should just try and make an impact on others and lead. He also emphasizes that leading without a title requires a commitment to personal excellence, self motivation, and a willingness to step up even when no one is watching. Then the last point I would state here was that he further explained that we just need to be a living human being to be able to lead. This means that to lead, all you need to do is just be a living human being. And once you learn how to apply all the powers that he stated, everything in your life will explode into success. Hearing this, Blake was really excited and he said he really wants to be successful in all he does. Tommy then promised to teach him everything. Tommy also told him that true leaders constantly push themselves to grow, even if it's uncomfortable or challenging. So he should always try and push himself in everything that he does, no matter how challenging it is. And by the end of the chapter, Blake understood that his responsibility for his own growth is that he lead no matter what position he is in. The third chapter of this book states that the cost of mediocrity and the spectacular reward of leadership mastery. And the points here are firstly, the meeting at the cemetery. Secondly, I'll explain Tommy finally told him the full meaning of LWT and explain the concept. And then introduce the 10 human regrets and the 10 human victories. He met Tommy at the cemetery. And when he went to the cemetery, he saw dug graves already. He was actually scared about this, but he still grabbed some courage and went forward to where Tommy stood with some other people. When he reached there, Tommy finally told him the full meaning of AWT because he had the courage to come up to them and because he also promised to tell him. He then explained the concept of LWT. He told him that LWT stands for Lead Without a Title. He told him that no matter what, you can't take your titles, money, or possessions with you when you die. So, no matter how well known you are, you will die without the title, no matter what. He introduced the 10 human regrets and the 10 human victories, and that the 10 human regrets just means that you die without achieving great things, inspiring people. I never got to be a great leader because you were too scared of failing and wasted your life. And then he explained the 10 human victories, which means that the concept is just that reaching your end, which means you die, of fulfillment, potential, and building people up because you were a true leader who led without a title. Now, the chapter 4 of this book was on the first leadership conversation, which was you need no title to be a leader. He met the first leader of LWT, Anna. Secondly, he taught him about the first principle of LWT, which means you need no title to be a leader. And then she introduced her own acronym image. Firstly, he met Anna at a hotel, and she was just a housekeeper. She explained to him that you need no title to be a leader. She taught Blake that leadership is about serving others well and bringing the highest standards to your work, regardless of your title. And she emphasizes that it's important to be passionate and present and constantly improving in your work. Anna explained to him that by working with this mindset that she has stated, anyone can make an impact and inspire others, which was the essence of the LWT. Her acronym was IMAGE, which meant I, innovation, M, mastery, A, authenticity, G, guts, E, ethics. Chapter 5 of this book was on the second leadership conversation, which was Turbulent Times Build Great Leaders. In this chapter, he met with the second leader of LWT, Ty Boyd. He taught him on the second principle, which was Turbulent Times Build Great Leaders. And then Ty Boyd introduced his own acronym, SPARK. Ty Boyd was the second LWT leader. He was a former Sky athlete. He taught Blake on turbulent times build great leaders. He emphasized that challenges and difficulties aren't things to avoid. Instead, they are opportunities to grow stronger and more resilience. Which means that Blake should just embrace discomfort, push beyond fear, and see setbacks as a stepping stones to achieving a goal. He said to him that true leaders always stay calm and embrace uncertainty as a chance to improve. Then he talked about his acronym SPARK. S, which stood for with candor. P. Prioritize. A. Advertise. Adversity breeds opportunity. R. Respond versus react. And K. Kudos. That's kudos for everyone. Chapter 6 was about the thought leadership conversation, which means the deeper your relationships, the stronger your leadership. Tommy took him to the third leader of LWT, Jackson. He explained the concept of the deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership, and he introduced his own acronym, HUMAN. Jackson talked about that everyone can lead no matter what, and he talked about the importance of contribution. He also used a gardener as a metaphor, and he also stated that every day in your life counts. And he challenged Blake to move beyond his comfort zone and then introduced his acronym HUMAN. H, which stands for helpfulness. U, understanding. M, mingle. A, amuse. N, nurture. Chapter 7 of this book was on the fourth leadership conversation. To be great leader, first become a great person. He met with the final leader of LWT, Jet Brisky. Jet shared the last principle of of that a great leader. To be a great leader, first become a great person. He introduced his acronym SHINE. Jet emphasizes that leadership starts with self discipline and self awareness. All this chapter talks about is that leadership isn't about external achievements, but about who you are and how you choose to show up in the world every day. His acronym was SHINE. S, see clearly. H, health is wealth. I, inspiration matters. N, neglect not your family. E, elevate your lifestyle. And chapter 8 was the conclusion. Blake reflects on all the lessons from his mentors and integrates them in his life. Tommy died of cancer. Blake promised to teach and influence others on LWT. Thank you for watching.